Hey guys, and welcome to a battle featuring the mighty forces of the Lizardmen, my favourite faction, and I am indeed going to be in control of them today, up against Outie, aka Rogan it looks like, and his Warriors of Chaos. Now, this has always generally been considered a relatively unfavourable matchup to Chaos in general, and that is because Temple Guard Doom boxes have been very, very potent here for a long time, but we are going to try something a little bit different. You can see my build is incredibly spread out here. We're going to go for a little bit of a small skirmish core, or at least skirmish theme to our build. So up in the front lines, you do have double chameleon skinks, and if you've seen much of my channel, you guys know I'm a massive fan of these bad boys. One of the peskiest units to deal with in the entire game. Love to play with them and hate to feast them, basically. They poison, they slow down, they're also good against a lot of the large threats that Chaos can indeed bring. Now for our front line, it's going to be a mixture of skink cohorts as well as red-crested skinks. The red-crested are the ones who get the leftover money chevrons, as their decent AP will, put them in good stead up against Warriors of Chaos, as the skinks are more there just to hold the line and kind of be a pesky distraction. Now in the centre of our build here, we do have double hunting pack, one of which is the Umbral Tide, regiment of renowned salamanders who do have stalk and do lovely flaming attacks with a nice bonus versus large. And mixed in with them, we do have some Lizardons, with no Max and Barbs today, no regiment of renowned, just the standard version, but they do have double chevron on them, hoping their AP comes in handy up against the thick armour of the Chaos Warriors. Now backing these guys up, I am trying out double Sacred Kroxigor here, one behind each hunting pack roughly, and they're going to kind of work as a counter-initiation unit. When my opponent tries to push back onto the Lizardons or Salamanders, these guys are going to counter-charge, and they do pretty decent work. I think they're definitely underrated, just rather expensive unfortunately what they do, but they do magic damage, and they can melt cavalry very effectively. We also have one unit of Cold One Spear Riders in the very back. I was hoping for Horned Ones, but didn't quite have enough money. Now for our leadership core, we do have a Skink Priest with Beasts coming in with the Curse to slow down my opponent, and instead of kind of using it to get the minus attack, I'm really kind of going for that minus speed to help protect my back line. We have Flock of Doom as well as Manticore Summon to help protect the back, and up in the skies a cheap and cheerful red-crested Skink Chief on top of a mighty beast here, coming in with Warrior Crest, Opal Amulet, and Foe Seeker. So hopefully he'll be relatively tanky, at least for a while, of that amulet. And it looks like he's actually floating mid-air right now, kind of doing some air surfing. So for the forces of the Chaos, my opponent here, he's a bad to the bones build, coming in with some Mirror Guard, regiment around Chaos Warriors. Then we have Chaos Warriors and Halberds dotted along the front line, as well as a Great Weapon unit, so pretty hardcore stuff so far. Not only is he going to be led by Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, the most metal of all lords, on his mighty flaming steed, who's going to be bringing it Stand or Die. Foe Seeker, the Burning Head, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Fireball, three very potent spells. The only other one you'd see as much of them as Cascading Firecloak, but looking particularly cool here. He can certainly out-duel a lot of the big monsters. My opponent also has the weird spawn here, the Regiment of Renowned Chaos spawn with their awesome colour scheme. We also have some Gore Beast Chariots, and also a Chaos Giant lumbering forward. A really fun build all round. Looks like hidden in the trees. We also have the Demon Spew, Regiment of Renowned Forsaken. Should be able to run over my skinks with deadly efficiency if they do get to the battlefield in time. And we have another basic chariot on the other side. So without further ado, let's get this battle underway. So two relatively unorthodox builds. The Skirmish of Lizardmen is nothing new. It is certainly something you do see here and there. And it should be some good fun. Lizardons are going to be plodding forward here. Now they do, hunting packs in general still have some kind of weird movement and the like when trying to get them into position, but they're going to unleash a hail of darts here into the Mirror Guard, doing fantastic damage off just one volley. Chameleon Skinks are also going to be focusing these guys down, trying to apply that poison to slow them down and allow the Lizardons to get in another good volley to the face before falling back once more. Over in the far side, the Umbral Tide have started to unleash hell upon the Chaos Spawn. Looks like my opponent is going to be coming with a Burning Head. I do spot it, but a tiny bit too late. I kind of move my units in a bit of an awkward formation, allowing my red-crested skinks to get absolutely roasted there, but they are now going to be charging into Chaos Warriors. Luckily, the Umbral Tide managed to escape with a little difficulty. Over on the right-hand flank, we have managed to pin in a Chaos Chariot with some Sacred Kroxigor, who are easily going to be able to pound the chariots into the dirt, breaking them very quickly. The frontline battle has got underway here. Cohort of Sotek taking a charge from Chaos Warriors, but they won't mind too much, it looks like Archaon is trying to push into the back line. My opponent's kind of opening up a centre pocket here and trying to drive through to shut down my hunting packs, which is good play. And he's pushed off some of my poor little skink boys here. Over in the distance, the Cauldron Spear's got a nice charge on the Gorby's chariot, but the Demon Spew have spewed forth from the woods and they'll be hunting me down. The Finn's getting a little bit shaky here, so we are going to summon a Feral Manticore and try and pull back as much as possible. One unit of Kroxigor are being sacrificed over here just to pin in as many units as possible, and they're still doing it pretty good damage. Now Archaon has overextended a little bit here, unsupported. Chameleon Skink's going to be poisoning him and slowing him down, allowing the Feral Manticore to drop in, save the Umbral Tide, who can now turn and unleash hell upon the Everchosen himself. Razordons as well are feasting their eyes on the Everchosen here. In the front lines, we managed to win the right-hand side relatively convincingly. So we have wrapped up and around, slamming into the back of the Mirror Guard with the Sacred Kroxigor. And that is one bonus these guys have. They're relatively fast, coming in with 46 speed, can get them around the battlefield quite quickly. Red Crested Skinks as well, helping out their brethren to take down the Chaos Warriors. Archaon is really struggling here. We pop the curse on him to slow him down, so he struggles a little bit more to escape from the Feral Manticore, and allows us to get even more shots in with the Razordons and Umbral Tide. And we're doing some pretty decent damage to him all round. The Everchosen is in fact wavering here and broken. However, the Feral Manticore probably will disappear, so I'm trying to put as much pressure on as possible to try and finish him off here and now. The right-hand side and the centre pocket has been won by the Grand Lizardmen forces here. Sacred Kroxigor up to 32 kills, doing decent work. However, the left-hand flank is in complete disarray. And it looks like the Gorby's Chariot and Chaos Giant do beat down the Kroxigor and have managed to fend off the cavalry for the most part. Looks like a few of them are coming back here. So now we have a nice mobile central force here. There's good synergy between the Chameleon Skinks, who slow down enemies, and the more hard-hitting hunting packs. Looks like we are currently trying to focus down the Chaos Spawn with the Umbral Tide, as well as these Halberdiers, as they're one of the biggest problems my build kind of has left. We have the Sacred Kroxigor, who can kind of tank down the infantry quite nicely, but there's still a ton of Demon Spew running forward, up to 26 kills, and a big kind of horde of chaos as they get a bit of a second wind here is going to be flooding in. So I'm desperately chucking skink cohorts at the enemy just to slow them down and allow my lovely hunting packs to retreat. The Red Crested Skink Chief is back in the action, was used earlier to chase off some chariots, and is just going to be diving in to try and slow down, pin in these Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and allow my other units to kind of deal damage to them. Over here, looks like the Demons, we have a bit of an unfavourable engagement. Sacred Kroxigor are going to be beating them down quite nicely, and we have a Flock of Doom to assist as well. Red Crested Skinks won't mind this engagement too much. They will get torn apart, but they should be able to do some damage back. And the Chaos Giant is just kind of lumbering on the edge of the battle at the moment, doing a little bit of damage here and there. Looks like our hunting packs do manage to fall back, and this is what I mean. They sometimes form really weird formations, and it's a bit of a pain to get them shooting once more after they've done this. But Chameleon Skink's quite happily now shooting into Chaos Warriors. We have relatively decent ammunition left on all our units, at least enough to finish off the battlefield strongly. So I'm quite happy to kind of use shots into Chaos Warriors, who wouldn't normally be the best target when there's a big giant on the field. But I'm pretty confident there's probably have enough ammunition to help deal with the big boy when it comes down to it. Chaos Warriors here are going to be getting forced back, and the Sacred Kroxigor quite happily tanking the Demon Spew here, who did get up to 62 kills, but Sacred Kroxigor having a whale of a time, and they're going to be hunting down some of those guys. I'm going to be peeling away for now from the Chaos Giant, just to allow the Razordons to do the dirty work here and get in some damage. But my opponent is going to pressure with Chaos Warriors once more, so we're simply going to dart away, and this is something I love about the hunting packs. They're so quick, at least for kind of, semi-artillery units. And we can kind of dart away, leave the Chaos Warriors in the dust, and simply hunt them down with the mixture of Skinks and Kroxigors. An old school friendship, as Skinks and Kroxigors have been used together for many long time before the Sacred or Red Crested even came along. So Chaos Warriors once again going to be hit by a Flock of Doom. At this point, army losses is starting to set in for my opponent, as a lot of his forces are on from the hills. It looks like Archaon is actually back here, and maybe going to be able to snipe out of my Skink Priest and rally his troops, but with so much damage being done here by the Razordons and the Umbral Tide onto the Giant, he's going to turn tails and run. And that is going to be a Pyrrhic victory for the Dino Boys. So pretty fun game all round. And I think there's certainly multiple ways you can play this as Lizardmen. Well played, first and foremost, to Orty, aka Rogan, it looks like. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Before we do a little breakdown, I'll just say, yeah, if you do enjoy, please feel free to give the video a big old thumbs up and comment. I do read all the comments. It takes me a little while to respond, but I will get back to them. And feel free to subscribe for more Total War Warhammer content. Now, overall, this is a really fun build. to take in kind of an interesting way. Lizardmen are one of my favourite factions because they have so many different styles. And, you know, I could go big Temple Guard Doombox here, but instead went for a mixture between a skirmish build, but with some hard hitters in the mix as well. I'm still not sold on Skink Cohorts. I mean, they do the job, they slow down the enemy, but they do get run over with very little, I suppose, cost value per kills. But, you know, they buy kind of valuable time instead. So went relatively cheap for the majority of the force to allow the hunting packs to really shine. Raised Dons did increase by a chevron, and Umbral did great damage throughout. You can see, unfortunately, the Common Spear Riders and Sacred Crooks on the left-hand flank kind of got dominated and put in the dustbin. However, the ones on the right, 69 kills, and really kind of tore through the heart of the enemy, allowed us to wrap around and crunch the Mirror Guard to death, as well as some of those chaos in the centre pocket. Then we simply managed to shoot them to death. The combination of poison and hunting packs is certainly something I think Lizardmen players can do, and it's, yeah, definitely shows results. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.